Hey there, what's going on, everybody? I hope you are doing well today. It's a beautiful day outside, and I'm inside. What are you gonna do? So recently I've been reading comments on my videos, as I always do, always, every single one. I will answer you, or at least give you a thumbs up. You know, some people are commenting with random letters, and they don't get an answer or a thumbs up, but they don't deserve either of those. Those of you with good comments, thank you, appreciate it. And good comments definitely include telling me what I am doing wrong, because I don't know everything. I don't know everything about every firearm. I don't know, all of the things. So anytime that people can actually tell me something, teach me something, help me learn, I really do genuinely appreciate that. So today, we are going to be talking about this guy. And not specifically this guy, but the video that I showed you this in is the video that has the comments that spurred the need for this video. And those comments were all, do not dry fire your rimfire pistol. And I didn't know. I'd kind of heard it before on the periphery. And then when I started getting those comments, I really got curious as to why people were specifying. They weren't saying don't dry fire your pistol. They were saying don't dry fire your rimfire pistol. Specifically rimfire. So I got really curious as to why. Looked it up. Now I'm smarter. I'm gonna make you all smarter if you don't know the answer too. Okay, so first things first here, both firearms have been confirmed to be clear. There's that one, and there's this one. Beautiful. Now what you need to realize is that while I am using revolvers as my examples here, only because the mechanics are a little bit easier to access, so we can see them a little bit better, this all applies to any rimfire or centerfire firearm whatsoever. So your 1022s, or even my bolt action WMR, anything like that is going to abide by the same concepts that we're talking about here. It's just that these are really easy to show the example with. So that being said, why can you dry fire one but not the other? So the main reason is actually having to do with the cartridges and the mechanics that actually fire them, i.e. the firing pins. So any center fire round obviously has a percussion cap in the middle there, in the center, and it is struck by your firing pin, and that's going to discharge your round. So that's why it's called center fire. A rimfire round just has a flat back here, and the firing pin actually strikes the edge of it, i.e. the rim, to cause it to discharge. So rimfire. So when you're firing center fire, you can see just from the wear pattern here that the round is all the way around there and the firing pin is directly in the center. So when there is a round loaded and it's in front of that firing pin, the firing pin is going to fall, smack the center of that round, and obviously discharge it. Now if there's nothing in front of that, where this would be here, if there's nothing there, that firing pin is just striking air. So it's not hitting anything, so it's not wearing at all. So that's why it's actually fine. So paranoid. So because that firing pin is not actually striking anything, it makes center fire firearms completely fine to dry fire, because all you're doing is moving a pin back and forth in midair. It's not actually striking or hitting anything. Now, it's not great to do this in excess, only because every time you do, pull the trigger, you are putting extra wear on your gun. Obviously, do it for training or whatever purposes you have. You can absolutely dry fire this, but just keep in mind that excessive anything on your firearm is going to put extra wear on it. But it's not actually going to be damaging in the same way that it is with a rimfire. Now, for our purposes here, I'm actually just going to pull the cylinder right out of the gun because we don't need it. So all we're interested in here is our trigger mechanics. Drop that down. So as you can see here, right there, you can see the same kind of wear pattern with the back of the round sits right there. But you'll notice that instead of the firing pin being in the center like a center fire, it's on the edge. So you're firing it by smacking the rim. So the big difference there is because this rim is flanged, it protrudes. When you put it into your cylinder, it's sitting higher than the actual chamber is. So when the firing pin strikes it, it's smacking into that brass. And brass is very soft, so it's hitting a surface that's going to resist it, but still give way a bit. And that's how it's supposed to be. However, if you do not have a round in your chamber, then your firing pin is actually going to smack the top. And that's made of steel, which is not soft and does not give way. So you're taking a firing pin which is meant to hit something soft-ish, malleable as brass is, and instead you're smacking it into hardened steel. This isn't going to cause any immediate damage, but what it will do is it will start wearing that firing pin down, and if that firing pin isn't exactly to spec, those tolerances are pretty tight. So if it's not to spec, if it's worn down, if it's misshapen, you're going to start getting misfires, which obviously is never a great thing. At the range, it might be annoying. In a survival situation, yeah, bad things will happen. So yeah, that firing pin, you want it to be in as pristine condition as you can. If you do wear down a firing pin, they are replaceable, so it's not the end of the world. But just keep in mind that by dry firing a rimfire, firearm, you are going to be putting, extreme wear and tear to a point where you're actually breaking your firearm unnecessarily. So that's it. That is the reason you do not want to dry fire your rimfire pistol, but it's okay-ish to do it with a center fire pistol. I didn't know. Now I know. Maybe you didn't know, and now you know. And really, that's what this is all about, learning more about firearms, about your firearms, about firearms you might be interested in. So all that long-winded blah, blah, blah to say, I learned something. Thank you for those of you who commented and let me know what I was doing wrong, because it made me a more intelligent shooter, and that is never a bad thing. So thank you all once again for coming by. Hit all the buttons below and leave me a comment and let me know what else I'm doing wrong. Generate some more content for me. That's never a bad thing, right? Thanks as always for coming by. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.